This video covers how to set the operational mode of the HinksPix Pro through the button interface. There are two phases of the boot up menu. There is the main boot time menu, and it can be changed there, and the operational time menu while the controller is running. What is the operation mode? This controller can operate basically in two major modes, which is either receiving data over E131, SACN, ARTNET, or DDP. And in this particular case, the controller is factory default, and we are running at E131 as our input protocol. So that means data will be coming from our network and running this controller. If you have an application that does produce an SD card output that will allow you to play the sequenced data on the SD card, then you will be able to select a mode for that. Within that mode, there is either a master or a slave arrangement. If you have more than one HinksPix Pro, you will have a slave controller, and that controller will then respond and keep in time with the master. So the master will run the show. I'm going to go ahead and press the reset button, and we will run through changing the mode from E131 during the boot time menu. Now I'm going to go ahead and press the left button there, and I'm going to go ahead and press the down or negative arrow, and we've got operation menu. Once we've selected that, go ahead and press the S or OK. And we're now currently in E131 mode. If we wish to change this to, let's say, master mode, I'll press the negative, press the S, then simply select what mode you want it in. Now, of course, here is where we are now. If you want to make it a master, go ahead and do that, then hit S. The controller will reboot, and it will then land in master mode. Now, we can, during operation, once the controller is already booted up, change its mode, and that might be useful if, let's say, that you've already got the controller booted up and you just want to temporarily switch it over to E131 and receive some data and then flip it back. Okay, so we have now moved into master mode, as you can see at the top. Now, if you were running a show and there was an SD card with a show on there, you would see a slightly different screen indicating the show and what song would be coming up on the playback. All right, so what we're going to do is go ahead and press the S button, the center button, and that will bring up this menu here. And we will go ahead and press the negative or operation mode and hit the S button. And we can go ahead and change this mode. And if we want to move it back to E131, we'll move it back there. And it will then reboot and move back into E131 mode. It's also possible to change this mode using the web interface of the controller, which is accessible at all times, even when the controller is in an E131 master or slave mode. You can still access the web interface. And in this particular case, you can see that we do now have it in E131 mode.